Hello everybody! In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Super Bowl, specifically the 2025 one, the one from 2025 AD. Who won the Super Bowl in 2025 AD? Let me think with my mental watch here. Who won? Give you some time. Not the Kansas City Chiefs, that's who. Okay? They lost. And if you're watching this later into the future, or if you're wondering the history of the sport for whatever reason, in this specific year, there is a team called the Philadelphia Eagles, and there was a team called the Kansas City Chiefs in a league called the NFL. And the Kansas City Chiefs, they kind of rigged the game for a while. Even if you're a Chiefs fan, this game they just needed to lose. Like, a lot of Chiefs fans, like I know a lot of people who are Chiefs fans, and they're like, yeah, they cheated, so they deserve that loss. And they lost 20-40, something like that. Chiefs got 20, Eagles got 40. But for most of the game, it was around 17-0, I think. Something like that. And then right around the third and fourth portion of the game, they started to get a couple more points, but they still stand no chance against the Eagles. Which is finally, and I'm not even an Eagles fan, which I think you can tell I'm actually a Detroit Lions fan. But I don't care what team what it was at this moment, at this time, because Kansas City Chiefs made themselves the villain. I don't care how many Taylor Swifts you're going to add to the Kansas City Chiefs team. You got to understand, if you cheat, you suck, okay? Like, you actually suck, all right? And for the Super Bowl, they should make some rule, like some super rule, where it's like they need to make their game like 10 times as more fair than they normally would. So that way, like, it's both equal opportunity for all teams and there's no cheating involved. There's a lot of sports betting and gambling that's been going on with the sport lately. And sports in general, not just the NFL. But still, I gotta adjust my camera, so excuse that. It was really nuts. There was the Super Bowl halftime show, which was a little bit odd because it was some guy named Kendrick Lamar or something like that. The Diss Drake guy, something like that. I don't know. I've never really heard of him until now. Until after the Super Bowl. But there was a whole bunch of commercials. The commercials were really strange, really weird. And, yeah, this is like the 50th something Super Bowl or the 60th something Super Bowl. Because they used to not have a Super Bowl every year. They used to just have the big ones and then, who knows, maybe you could make it to the top. But then they started forming actual leagues right around the 50s and 60s or so. But nobody really sat in place for a Super Bowl until the 70s. And 70s onward, that's when they decided to make rules. And the commercial part famously came in through the 80s. Like, it kind of already existed before, but it opened people of the success of that commercial, which was an Apple commercial. The success of that led to people been trying to make their own 1984 commercial, you know? That kind of thing. And I'm drinking some liquid, some Dr. Pepper, Blackberry, as you can see. But I'm mostly drinking this because I ate a bunch of spicy food when I was watching the game or whatever. But it was still funny. Like, there was this part in the game where they had like a gallon of Gatorade and they dumped it on the, what was it? the Eagles coach, and he was a former Kansas City Chiefs coach. Like, he wasn't just picked out, he was like an actual solid, grew up with that team coach. At least to my knowledge, and he was a coach for like 3 years, that kind of thing. And then he ended up becoming a coach for the Eagles, obviously, because I wouldn't be talking about this if it wasn't the case. But they really deserved that win. Like I said, I don't care if it's the worst team in the league. They just need to beat the Kansas City Chiefs because they suck right now, okay? They are the villains of the NFL world right now, okay? There's no other way to put it. It just is what it is. And they're like, oh, we gotta add this commercial or this commercial. But I do agree that the NFL kind of, like when they started setting the rules, it kind of was invented for food. But originally it was like a mix of rugby and soccer. So there's that, if you wanted to know. Well, anyway, it's a big game. It was huge. There were people for it. It's like the third or fourth biggest sport in the world. Third biggest sport in the world. Third only to cricket, which is second, and soccer, which is number one, at least of this recording. Who knows? Maybe cricket or football or any other sport can eventually become number one, but or basketball potentially. But right now it's kind of like soccer. But I just don't see it lasting forever, at least not in the sense of it's gonna always stick to number one, you know? Like, I do see it, like, potentially being in the top 10 in the future, but it's still... I'm going off topic. That has to do with other things. Well, anyway, sorry for if I was going off topic a little too much there. But, yeah. Their Super Bowl was a big surprise. I didn't really care for the halftime show. There were a lot of commercials that got annoying, but hey, at least I got to watch it for free on Tubi. So, I'm not exactly complaining. But they had a weird thing with the graphs where it was like, it showed the teams, but it didn't show their team's logos. So, I didn't know exactly who was who until I figured it out. Like, this side was Kansas City Chiefs, and this side was the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, like, I didn't directly know. I know that's a bit old school to have that kind of style, but dude, if you wanted it like that, at least just put their logo on there, dude. So that way at least I could know which team is which without having to go, what does those letter means? Because you never know when those letters have the same combination, so it's like who's who, or same color, which would be even worse, so it's like who's who. So yeah, I would suggest just put the logo on the logo. You know, that kind of thing. Well, anyway, I don't have nothing much else to say either than, yeah, I'm just glad for this historic win. Maybe one day I'll be chanting for the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl. But that's if they lose for the next 10 years or so. Maybe next 6 years or so on the shortest end. And then they get good once again. If not, then yeah, they just don't deserve their winnings anymore for now, you know? Don't know what else to say. But unless that happens, yeah, I'm probably never going to be rooting for it. And besides, I'm a Lions fan regardless, so it doesn't really matter. But, and you might go, oh, but they never make a Super Bowl. Well, yeah, I know, but they're not Kansas City Chiefs terrible. Alright? Alright? So don't pick on me, because with the way the game was made, I feel like it was biased towards the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Eagles won anyway. Imagine the team that you're going against is rigged for that team, and yet you still win. That's crazy. That's just insane. 20 to 40. 20 points to 40 points. That kind of thing. But still, it's just a historical win from this angle. It's the Scarlet 20s, man. You don't really see too much stuff like this unless you're looking at Wednesdays like they're Saturdays. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on the subject for now anyway. But Taylor Swift fans are going to be crying with their mascara coming from their eyes. You know, the female ones. Most of them, not all of them. But I mean like the hardcore fans. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, they're going to be so sad because their girlie's boyfriend's team lost. And, yeah, that's just whatever. But, yeah, Eagles won, and seems pretty good. It seems like freaking the existence has called to me kind of thing. But, yeah, I really should end this video so that way I don't make it too long, potentially. But hey, at least you know, I guess. Who knows who will win for 2026? Let me guys know if you're interested, or any game for the rest of the 2020s, potentially. If you're watching this later on. Anyway, yeah. That's all I gotta say on the subject. See you later. Bye!